So the first thing you're going to notice, and it's going to be quickly evident, that people are just nice down here in Texas. They're very accommodating, and they have that, Southern just friendliness about themselves. They're very welcoming. They'll greet you, they'll speak to you, and just hold conversation. So in comparison to a lot of other cities, something like Boston or maybe something like New York, where people are more in a rush and they're like, yo, get out of my way. It's a little bit different in that regard, and it's definitely a positive thing. I would say one of the main reasons people are moving down to Dallas is the job market. There's an abundance of jobs here and a lot of opportunities in different career fields. The Dallas-Fort Worth Metro is actually the leading metro in the whole US in the labor market performance. And honestly, that's not surprising because a lot of Fortune 500 companies are located here. It creates competition in the job market for good employees. Just as an example, we have a very robust tech sector. You can literally interview for multiple companies and find the best fit for you. I've heard of top candidates in their field being recruited by multiple companies, trying to one-up one another, offering more benefits, work from home options, just to kind of entice those candidates to choose their company over the other. It's healthy competition, and you gotta love the smell of capitalism in the morning. So just to name a few fields that are in, high demand right now, as I mentioned, the tech space, engineering is another one that's a hot field, finance, and of course, the recession-proof medical fields. And if you're in need of a side hustle, there's plenty of side gigs that people do all of the time. The share economy is really big here in DFW. Gigs like Grubhub, Uber Eats, Instacart, and Amazon Flex are very good sources of consistent income. I've had a client who moved down here prior to securing full-time employment, and he said he made about $40 an hour, just Ubering around the downtown area. Now, he had one of those fancy cars, but the point is it's available at your fingertips. So there's a few side gigs you can do to create some additional income, even if you haven't secured that full-time employment just yet. There's an abundance of opportunities to grow your network. We're talking network events, multiple conferences a month, and numerous meetups that can help you take your business, to that next level, or take your mindset to that next level. There are plenty of entrepreneurs in this city, and if you put yourself out there, you'll be exposed to new ideas and knowledge. The more you hang around like-minded individuals, people that are successful and heading in the same direction you want to go in, the better your chances are of ending up at your destination. Just from my own personal experience, people are more open to sharing their knowledge and ideas, and they don't mind helping others out. I really like that about this city. Just, walking into a coffee shop, you never know who you're going to meet and what value they can actually bring to you. If you're a small business owner, you can collab with other small business owners whose service may be, symbiotic in nature and help take yours to the next level. Flat out, we just have diversity. Dallas is a melting pot of different ethnicities. Is that how you say that word, ethnicities? I've always struggled with that. Anyway, different cultures, beliefs, and values. And with the diverse culture comes a lot of tolerance as well. Whatever cultural background you come from, there is sure to be a population of people here in Dallas that can relate to you and your upbringing. They probably speak the same language, speak the same lingo. It's also a great way to experience the world from, a different perspective. I actually attended my first Nigerian wedding a few months ago, and man, was it a celebration like no other. Literally throwing dollar bills over the bride and groom in the middle of the dance floor. But it was so much fun, and I had never experienced anything like that before. Also, as I've spent more time in the city and met different types of people, a common theme seemed to keep occurring. I was, really surprised that a lot of people I was meeting that live here have lived here for, 5 or 10 years, and they're actually transplants as well. In fact, a lot of the people I've met come from places like Chicago, New York, and California. Let me let you in on a little secret. We throw down in the state of Texas. Listen, you could pick a different restaurant every single weekend for like years and you still couldn't eat at all of them. There are so many good options to choose from, whether you want, the fine dine at a 5-star restaurant, you want some good Tex-Mex, or, overindulge in some of the best barbecue this side of the Mississippi. Dallas has you covered. I've actually become pretty fond of the Mediterranean foods around here lately. My favorite so far is Angelo's Mediterranean Grill. Anybody who's a foodie or is, really fond of exploring new restaurants and venues will have an overload of choices. One thing I've really come to enjoy are those, rooftop restaurants as well. They're super aesthetic, with the mood lighting, Instagrammable art pieces, and, those views of the city skyline are second to none. It's just a vibe, man. It's just a vibe. There are quite a few big chains and you have those mom and pop spots that truly don't believe in portion sizes. And don't get me started with the tacos. I mean, you can really get some authentic street meat, homemade salsa, and some of the best tortillas, north of the border. As far as shopping, you have the Galleria Mall, you have the North Park malls, and you can spend some time in Highland Park Village, which is a high-end outdoor retail area. And that's just in the Dallas area. There are more spread out around Frisco, Plano, and Garland. Like, there's so many outlets and malls around, and they're not even far from each other, right? We're talking, 25, 30-minute drive in between locations, which is typical in DFW, going from one city to the next. But I also just want to take a second and talk about some of the grocery stores because we have a ton of them to choose from. We have what we call Sprouts, the Farmers Market, we have Kroger, Walmart, Trader Joe's, which is, like a local favorite. And we recently just got a few H-E-Bs, which is, in my humble opinion, the best grocery store you could ever step foot into, right? The name is literally, here everything is better. And trust me, they're not lying. It's like the Chick-fil-A of grocery stores. And for, my more specific shoppers, we also have a bunch of ethnic specialty, grocery stores as well, if the chain stores, don't have exactly what you're looking for. Now, Dallas as a whole has one of the best school systems in the entire nation. And we're talking from elementary school all the way up to the collegiate level, right? A lot of these schools are rated in the A+ to A- range. The great thing I've seen is that the teachers are so involved with the kids, right? The kids really receive, the extra attention when needed, and tutoring is also available. Because between me and you, I'm not necessarily the best option to try and figure out, complex algebra equations to help my kids. The pandemic homeschool days are long behind us, and I'm not wanting to go back. I take a look at their work nowadays and I think to myself, I don't remember doing this when I was in school. But all in all, it's a really good thing because it helps build them up intellectually. Now, Texas is actually one of the top states with the lowest gas prices. Now, around the nation, gas prices have seen a sharp increase, but it's still on the cheaper side in comparison. I think I saw in California and New York, gas was like $4.36 to $3.50 respectively. And at the time of this video, our gas per gallon is about $2.45. So if you're looking for, a little relief at the pump, Texas will save you a couple of dollars on a weekly basis. Now, when it comes to events and concerts, it's hard to beat the city of Dallas. There's always something going on in so many different categories of entertainment. We have 4 major sports teams, from football with the Dallas Cowboys, basketball with the Mavericks, baseball with the Texas Rangers, and we have our hockey team with the Dallas Stars. Not to mention, we have those secondary leagues like the XFL, USFL, and minor league baseball. There's also a lot of college teams like SMU, the University of North Texas, which is up in Denton, and TCU, which made its debut in the college playoffs this year, and I'm hoping they can win their national championship. Even the high schools are larger than life here in Dallas. If you were to drive by a high school stadium here on Friday Night Lights, I promise you would think it's a college because of how massive the stadiums are. As far as sites and tourist attractions, we have the AT&T Art District, the Dallas Holocaust and Human Rights Museum, the Perot Museum of Nature and Science, which for me, the building itself is a work of art. It has this slanted staircase on the outside of the building that I stare at every time I'm driving down the highway. We also have other museums as well and historical landmarks that really keep tourists visiting the city on a regular basis. Now, if music and concerts are more your speed, then, we have the House of Blues, the Bomb Factory, the American Airlines Center, the Toyota Music Factory, AT&T Stadium, and Ranger Stadium, where there are a number of concerts and shows every single year. So just hop on to AT&TStadiumEvents.com and you can see the lineup for at least the next 6 months. And let's not forget about Old Tex, which is the mascot of the world famous Texas State Fair, when people from all over the world come down to enjoy the food, fun, and festivities. I've been a few times and I really like trying the food, like, fried jambalaya, fried Oreos, and those enormous turkey legs. Now, it's probably not gonna win any awards for being calorie conscious, but boy, will it have your taste buds wanting to thank you. There are a bunch of rides and games to choose from, and if you do decide to go, you have to take a turn on the Ferris wheel. It gives you the most spectacular views from the middle of downtown. We also have a lot of smaller concerts that happen locally, like live music down in Deep Ellum, and if you're looking for something, a little more red carpet, we have the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, which also plays on a weekly basis. There's plenty of golf courses here and a multitude of lakes that you can really go to and enjoy some time on the water. One of my favorite lakes is White Rock. It's a beautiful body of water that's located northeast of the city center. Now, we do have lakes where you can go fishing and hop in your boat and maybe catch a bass or two, but White Rock is really more for the aesthetic. There's a few multi-million-dollar homes that line the banks there, and people use the White Rock Trail around the lake to do their biking and exercise routines. I even believe there, are some 5K runs that are held there on a yearly basis, but don't quote me on that. But that lake is, definitely a happening spot for that athlete in you. Okay, now that we've went through some of the pros, let's switch gears and talk about some of the things that may be a drawback for you when you decide to call Dallas home. I'm just going to be honest with you guys, traffic can be crazy at times. Now, it's not as bad as it is in, say, New York or California, or even Atlanta for that matter, but it has its moments when it gets very congested. If there's any type of construction, which you'll find out pretty quickly here, it always is, things will get backed up for miles. During rush hour, a regular 20 to 30-minute commute can turn into an hour fairly quickly. And don't miss an exit, because it could be miles until the next one. So add another 15, 20 should you take the wrong turn. I've actually gotten a lot of questions about, a video concerning the traffic and highway system here in Dallas. So if you guys want to see something like that, drop a comment below and let me know if that's something you'd like to see. We also have a lot of tollways, which tend to be clear, but at a cost, right? At one point in time, I was paying somewhere in the realm of $8 to $10 every single day in tolls, just to save time. But for me personally, with that amount of driving that I was doing on a regular basis, it's a convenience I don't mind paying for because it saves me a ton of time during my commutes. And let me be the first to warn you, people in Texas can't drive. I'm making sure I'm checking my mirrors multiple times, checking my blind spots and using defensive driving tactics. But I can't control everyone else. So you can expect a lot of heavy braking, people cutting you off, speeding up so you can't switch lanes in front of them. It can be problematic, so just be sure to be aware and pay attention at all times. This is not the place to drive in Texas at all. Listen, I've lived in quite a few places and the heat here is bad. We do have all 4 seasons, but the summers here get crucial. And when I say crucial, I mean crucial. You can literally fry an egg on the pavement on a typical summer day, and in the summers, it will literally be upwards of 90 degrees around 9 o'clock at night. And don't let me forget the humidity. You feel like you're in the oven being cooked, basted, maybe even baked. I recommend not spending too much time outside during the hours of 10 to 7. Most people choose to go to water parks, to the pools, the lakes. So if you're looking to get a nice tan, you should have no issue doing so during those dog days of summer. Unlike some other major cities, Dallas is just not the most walkable. Everything is so spread out here in Dallas, and Dallas is so big that you could be driving for an hour and still be in Dallas. Seriously, it's that large. So you're gonna need a vehicle, and in regards to the public transit system, it's just not something I would recommend. You can make it work for you if you're in the downtown area, but as you start spreading out to some of the suburbs, you're gonna get less and less options. The public transportation system, especially like the railways and the buses, just aren't going to cut it in a lot of areas here. Now, since the state of Texas has no income taxes, they had to find another way to generate some tax revenue. Hey, you gotta love Uncle Sam. So high property taxes are the next con I would bring to your attention. Now, even though Texas does have the high property taxes, you're still saving more money by not having that state income tax. You can also apply for what we call a homestead exemption, which applies to your primary residence, and it'll save you some money on your property taxes each year. There are a couple more exemptions like, being 65 and older, and if you're a veteran with, say, 100% disability rating, you don't have to pay any taxes at all, which, could be upwards of $10,000. There's a few more exemptions that your county may offer that you can look into. Just contact your appraisal district and they'll have all that information for you. You're gonna have to be aware of the random hailstorms. Around the same time each year, we have these random hailstorms, and I don't mean just like small quarter-size hail. Ever so often, the skies will open up and send down these softball-sized chunks of ice. It could literally be a warm, sunny day just like today, and out of nowhere, a hailstorm comes through and ruins your day. Cars get beat up pretty bad, and it's not the easiest of fixes. It's great to have a garage, but if you're parked outside at work, there's not really much you can do unless you buy some sort of, protective covering for your vehicle. The hail can also be damaging to your roof and windows. You know, when we have hailstorms, just prepare yourself because a few days afterwards, the roofing companies will be knocking on your door to see if they can help you repair your roof. The good thing is they usually can walk you through the process of filing a claim, and your insurance company usually covers the entire amount. So it's, you know, good to have that comprehensive coverage for your vehicle and also for your home if you're worried about that. So guys, if you found any value, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video. Like I said, if you're planning to move, whether it be in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and I'll be more than happy to assist. Now, before you guys leave, be sure to check out some of the other videos as well if you want to get some more value. We shot some other neighborhood vlogs and property tours, just so you guys can really get a good feel for the DFW. And as always, guys, stay blessed, and I hope we see you guys around town.